So today we're digging into some really interesting research, asking, does having wealth, does that privilege actually change how you see things, how you see yourself, and maybe how you treat other people?
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at a collection of sociological studies, some hard behavioral data too.
Right.
This deep dive is really about that link between wealth, status, and, well, how people behave. It gives us a bit of a shortcut into the psychology of privilege.
Right. And our mission here is, I guess, to quickly unpack the findings on things like entitlement, empathy, and especially what happens when, someone has to kind of rationalize winning a game they know was rigged right from the very start.
That UC Berkeley Monopoly study is the perfect example to start with.
It really is.
Yeah.
So they had over 100 pairs of strangers play Monopoly.
Right.
And one person, just by a coin flip, got made rich, double the money to start,
Yeah.
double salary passing go, even got 2 dice to move around the board instead of just 1.
Yeah, the game was completely stacked in their favor. It wasn't subtle.
Not at all.
And what's fascinating watching the hidden camera footage is how fast the behavior changed.
How so?
Well, the rich players almost immediately started showing signs of, dominance, moving their pieces lighter, like really smacking them down, showing these nonverbal power cues towards the other player who clearly had less.
And then there's that detail with the pretzels, right?
Oh, yeah, the pretzels. There was a bowl nearby.
Okay.
And the researchers explicitly said they were for, I think, children in another study, not for the game players.
Right, not for them.
But the rich players, they ate twice as many pretzels as the poor players did, just took them.
Wow. Even knowing they weren't meant for them.
Exactly. Which brings us to the really critical finding at the end of the game.
Which was?
When they asked the rich players why they won this clearly rigged game,
Yeah.
they overwhelmingly talked about their own great strategy. I bought the right properties, I made smart moves.
They completely ignored the fact that they started with a massive advantage.
Pretty much. They minimized or just didn't mention the coin flip that set them up to win.
So the mind is actively kind of rewriting the story there.
That's what the research suggests. It's how the mind rationalizes advantage, makes it feel earned, protects the ego.
Okay, so that's in the lab in a game. How does this tendency, this rationalization, play out in, the real world?
Well, it seems to translate into less what we call pro-social behavior, actions that help others.
Right.
Broader studies, these involve thousands of people, they find a consistent pattern. As someone's level of wealth increases, things like compassion and empathy tend to go down.
And entitlement goes up.
Entitlement and self-interest, yeah. They even found wealthier individuals were more likely to sort of moralize greed, to see it as a good thing.
Can you give us some specific examples? Like, how does that difference actually show up?
Sure. One study looked at giving money away. They gave people $10.
Okay.
Folks earning less, say under $25,000 a year, they gave away 44% more of that $10 to a stranger.
Wow, 44% more
Yeah.
than people earning, $150,000 to $200,000 a year.
That's a pretty significant difference in generosity.
It is. And you see a similar trend with cheating behavior.
How did they test that?
There was this rigged computer dice game. You could potentially win a $50 prize. The richer participants were 3 to 4 times more likely to cheat in that simple game to get the $50.
3 to 4 times for $50.
Yeah. It suggests that maybe once that rationalization of I deserve success kicks in, the sort of moral lines about how you get ahead become a bit more blurry.
And we even see this physically, right? Like on the road.
That's the crosswalk study from California. Really striking.
Tell us about that one.
Researchers had someone pose as a pedestrian waiting to cross at a crosswalk, which in California, drivers are legally required to stop for.
Oh, okay.
They just monitored, did the car stop or not, and they noted the type of car.
And what did they find?
A clear link between the car's price and breaking the law. The drivers of the least expensive cars.
Yeah.
None of them broke the law. 0.
None. But as the cars got more expensive, the likelihood of the driver just, blowing through that crosswalk went up dramatically.
How dramatically?
For the most expensive category of vehicles, nearly 50% of drivers failed to stop for the pedestrian.
Half of them just ignored the person waiting.
Basically, yeah, almost half.
So these individual behaviors, this sense of entitlement maybe,
Yeah.
it adds up.
It absolutely adds up. When you have extreme economic inequality, like the top 20% owning something like 90% of the wealth, it starts to erode things society-wide.
Like what?
Social trust goes down, social mobility becomes harder, it can even impact physical health outcomes, and not just for the poor, but across all levels of society.
That's a really sobering thought.
Yeah.
So does this mean wealthier people are just inherently less empathetic? Is this fixed?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? And the research provides a very important counterpoint. No, these differences do not seem to be innate or fixed.
They're not hardwired?
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Behavior seems very, very malleable.
How do we know that?
Well, they tested it with these small psychological nudges or interventions.
Okay, like what?
In one experiment, they had wealthier participants watch just a very short video, only 46 seconds long, about the difficulties of childhood poverty.
Just 46 seconds. And what happened?
After watching that brief video, those wealthier individuals became just as willing to help a stranger in distress specifically by offering their own time as the lower income participants were.
Wow, that quickly, just from a short video.
That's what the study found. It suggests empathy isn't gone, it's just maybe needs a little reminder, a shift in perspective sometimes. Values seem highly changeable.
So privilege can definitely shape behavior, shape how you see yourself.
Definitely influences it.
But it's not a life sentence. Even tiny nudges of compassion, as you call them, can bridge that gap pretty effectively.
That seems to be the key takeaway. The potential for change is right there.